All right, everybody, welcome back to Daily DVR. It's Tuesday. Solo and I are here. We're doing a little chit chat about The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 1, Future Days. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff too. Just want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you are a new listener or subscriber to YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, do all that kind of stuff. We appreciate it. We're trying to get to about 300 so we can monetize this motherfucker. Um, Also wanted to say that you can go to dvrpodcast.com to check out all our audio podcasts, all the stuff that we've been covering for almost 20 years. Game of Thrones, Lost, Mayor of Kingstown. I mean, God, we've covered so many shows.
Westworld,
Westworld, Mindhunter. There's so many that we've covered. So many. Man, we covered
Alcatraz. Oh wait,
Alcatraz,
that's
Captain America and the Winter Soldier. We have done so many crazy shows. Go to dvrpodcast.com or email us at dvrpodcast@gmail.com. Patrons. Okay, listen. We have like 70 something patrons. About 30 of them are paid, about 40 of them are free. We love everyone. You don't have to pay us for us to love you and to do a good show. But we're getting
wait
into
a
this
minute.
you.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I
All right.
my
Solo says
love,
maybe.
my love is there's a transaction involved.
There is. It's
All right, but what
transactional.
but yeah,
Well,
but anyway.
but me and you have something worked out. I don't give you cash. I just give you blood. Oh, wait a second. Okay. Let's get back to the
You
show.
give me cash, which is just as good
Now,
as money. Oh, Yogi Berra,
I
Aflac.
wanted to, Aflac, I wanted to just say, if you're a free patron, become a paid patron for a little while because we are trying to not only kind of unionize the DVR podcast network. I really want to try to get this up and going so we're earning money and we're all getting paid a little bit for the time and energy we produce, we edit all this kind of stuff, and we give the time here. We'll have families and such. But I want to make the production better too. Camera, get better YouTube presentation, maybe some cameras, some. I'd like to buy Photoshop so I can do better graphics and things like that. I'd like to maybe get an editing program. These things cost money, and I'd like to be able to pay for them out of the work we do on this podcast. So if you do appreciate us and you watch us, you're a patron or a free patron, just a person out there, and you want to become a patron, you want to help us, go to patreon.com/DVR. It's the best way to help us. If you go on the website, there's also a way if you wanted to do like a one-time contribution through PayPal or whatever, you can do that as well. I just really want to try to kind of get this up and running. I'm 50 years old. How long are we going to podcast for? So we've already been doing it for like 20 years. We got to start getting
I
paid.
mean,
We
another
should be doing
month,
this for
maybe. I got a
a
month left in
month.
me. I got a month
Uh,
left in me. So get those
Wait a second.
Patreons in.
Another week. Remember DJ Tim Hines' show? Another week?
Oh
You
yeah,
can find that at
DJ.
dvrpodcast.com. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much more into it. You catch the drift here. Join us. We're always giving back. We're always doing crazy shows all the time. We want to hear from you too. We listen to people about what shows they want us to cover. So we do appreciate that. So please become a patron or whatever. And as a part of that, you're going to notice on Apple Podcasts, I'm going to start doing subscriptions through Apple Podcast, which is basically going to be just like becoming a patron. It's going to be, I'm going to have to set a flat rate though. That's the difference there. So I don't know what it's going to be, like 40, $50 a year. Most people charge. I mean, we do a lot of shows a week. You'd get ad free. Plus, what we do is release everything early. That's the thing that'll happen. Everything will be released early, and we'll do more exclusive pods that are just for the Apple subscription and the Patreon to try to bring people in. We want to try to make this more of a legit business so we can make it better for everyone and, get paid a little bit for our time. Moving on, I wanted to say Anne was awesome. If you didn't catch Anne, she's a new podcaster here. She joined us for White Lotus. it was awesome, Heath, to hear from you and Andy and everybody, Gina, everybody's like, wow, Ann was awesome.
Oh yeah, she was
Um,
outstanding. I really
yeah.
immediately I was like, "Oh, and like I felt
Yep.
like she'd been podcasting with us forever." So I look forward to meeting her and doing. But no, she just fit right in, and it was really nice to it's nice to bring on some new faces, voices. And
Yeah.
if you want to see Anne and all and us, you can also go to the YouTubes as people are watching now. But if you're listening to audio only,
Yep.
we started not too long ago doing the YouTube live, and I've kind of been enjoying it. It's kind of given us more of you know, a fountain of youth, as some would say. Like I feel like I've been
It's like a
drinking.
it's an injection solo,
Oh,
right?
well, lethal or
No, well, hot beef
friendly?
maybe.
Okay.
It's given us the good vibes. I
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
YouTube. And we're on live right now too. We're
Wait,
doing
we
it right
are?
now. Yeah, we are. It's
I didn't even know we were
amazing.
doing video. Oh, I didn't get my hair done.
Well, Commander, you look very well.
No,
Um,
sexually aroused.
so yeah, what were we talking about again? Anne's awesome. Oh, and
Yeah.
there's another new podcaster I'm going to try to be working with, not try to, but we will be this week. Her name's Erica, and I hope that she comes on soon. And again, if you're out there and if you ever wanted to try podcasting or jump in, we're always looking for new people to chat with. And don't worry, folks, I always talk with the person first on Zoom. I don't just bring any crazy person onto the podcast.
BS. Everyone, that's not true. Some of these yokels you let on this podcast, I don't know, Axel.
Well, listen, Andy worked out. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Eh,
Come on.
yeah,
I
no,
know
he
you had
did.
your
He did.
reservation solo. He's a
My
farmer and
present.
whatnot, but
Hey,
he worked out.
farmersonly.com is where I
That's
met him.
true. That's
And I
true.
wasn't a farmer, so I got booted off.
Oh, I know. Well, that's because it's only for farmers.
But I love
Um,
irrigation. So
I do too. Okay, last thing, and then we're going to start talking about The Last of Us. Sorry, people. Is our good friend Manny, who's a fellow New York Jets fan. Manny, love you, buddy. Said that you could kind of hear me like eating on a podcast at some point. I so apologized. There was like a 1 week period where the kid was like on break and I didn't have time to eat. So there was like two podcasts where literally I was putting on mute and eating a sandwich really quick. That will never happen again. And Manny, I
unless,
apologize to your
Manny,
earbuds. Oh.
unless Jersey Mike's or someone sponsors us.
That's
Remember,
true.
remember the old we
I
talked
would
a little
love
bit
that.
about it, but I just finished finally watching the show Chuck from
Oh,
NBC
okay.
back in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
day.
Yep.
And I didn't realize, and I want to know how much they paid, but Subway, literally, like they would do ads during the show, product placement of Subway,
Oh
like
man.
literally, and they would go through what's in a sub. Like I was kind of like taken aback, like, were they really hard up for money? Is that why they did it?
Oh my
Um,
God.
I was just noticing that like very weird because you get product placement, okay, maybe Pepsi or something, but they literally worked Subway into the script.
Wow. Subway, eat
Hmm.
fresh, except not with Jared.
Subway's
Jersey Mike's
gone
is good
downhill.
though. I like Jersey
I
Mike's.
like Jersey Mike's a lot.
But nothing beats like an old Jewish or Italian deli that you just
Oh,
happen upon and get a sandwich, and then you're like, what the fuck? That's amazing,
one thing I
So good.
love about Burbank is they have a couple of those old school, like
Yeah.
there's this place Giamella's that's been around forever, and they're there
Oh,
freaking making the sub so fast. And then another one's Tony's Deli. There's a couple
just
of
the
them around.
name of it. See, in my hometown, it was Chaffee's.
Chaffee,
Chiaffi's Deli, and it's still there, baby. Mountain Avenue,
I like it.
Springfield, New Jersey. All
The
right,
old school
Solo, let's get
delis.
into it.
Okay.
Let's do it, baby. The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 1, Future Days. We're talking about it. We may do more Last of Us talk because I really love this episode, Solo. How did you feel about it?
No, it was nice to get back into this world again. It felt like forever, even though it was only what, 2 years, I guess, or is it 2022 or 2023? So
Yeah,
it's been
about two
2 years.
years. Yeah.
And so I rewatched the finale just to to get my bearings again. You know,
Hmm.
got to see Joel taking out everyone in the hospital and lying to Ellie and the whole, that. So it's 5 years later, and I'm like, wait, what? But love this episode. I was really now um the man who directed this episode, Mr. Craig Mazin. I don't
Yeah.
know if you know this. So back, my cousin Troy went to UVA for business and law after he graduated from Brown. And his college girlfriend, Karen, is the sister of Craig Mazin.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I
Wow. So
remember
he
when they
married
were
the wrong
dating
girl, is what you're trying to say.
for my career, yes. For my
For your
career,
career
yes. For
solo,
my career, yes.
you could
I
have
could
been
have
on
been on a lot.
Chernobyl.
I could have
You
been
could...
I could have been on all these things.
Thanks
Um,
a lot, cuz.
thanks,
Thanks a
cuz.
lot.
Way to,
Way to follow your heart, okay?
way to marry your soulmate instead of,
Exactly. Exactly.
But no, but Karen, she was great. Like she was so cool. I liked her a lot. But yeah, no, because I remember at the time they were dating was like, oh yeah, he came up with The River Runs Deep for Crimson Tide. He's a screenwriter. I was like, oh, that's cool. I was in college at the time. And
Yeah.
then now, I mean, Chernobyl and Last of Us, I mean, whew,
Yeah. Great
he's
stuff.
he's rocking and rolling. But no, I love this episode. I think we got a lot of cool stuff to come now. I have not played the game. I don't, know about the game. From what I heard, they're kind of going away from the game a little bit, doing their own thing, sort of, or
Um,
making choices that which is fine with me because let me tell you something. I just I want to go on a little rant
oh,
before we
please
get
do.
into it. So, what with podcasters now, some podcasters, I'm going to leave it general. So you got a great show. Like I've never played the game.
Okay.
And so I thought about it because I'm like, I really want to know. But I'm like, you know what? I want to enjoy the show and see what, Craig and the boys create and follow this and maybe play the game sometime later. But why do some podcasters, because they have to know the spoilers and the what's in, why they're watching on YouTube 15 plus hours of gameplay just so they can see what happens, like watching it. I'm like,
Really?
why would you do that? Is it because you have to know? Or, do you think that enhances podcast? I mean, for me, I was like, that's why I've always been like, should I read the books like Game of Thrones? Should I read the books? But I'm kind of like, no, let me go with it's separate medium. And so I would say I would see people doing that after the show, but I guess some people have to get spoiled. I just think it would take away from the experience. Now, if I was a regular game player years ago or whatever, then I could see like, yeah, you love that. So now, but to go and spoil yourself and watch gameplay on YouTube.
Well,
Um,
you know what, Solo? I mean, there's two different ways to look at it. Some people would say, well, I'm educating myself for my audience. It's almost
true.
like research, you know? That's
Yeah,
why we had varying opinions about reading the book in Game of Thrones. At a certain point, I started to feel like, wow, I'm not a good enough Game of Thrones podcaster because I didn't read the books. But then I think after conversing with you and other people, we come up with the idea, no, what we're doing is valuable because we're seeing it as a television show.
right,
And that is what's important. That's my point of view. Yes, I played The Last of Us, both of the games. Why? Because I'm a video game player and those games are fucking awesome. I didn't
right.
even know they were going to do a TV show, right? So I did replay the first game before the first season came out. We weren't podcasting, but I just wanted to kind of refamiliarize myself. I decided not to do that with the second season, and I'm finding it a bit more interesting. And actually, that's what the impetus is why I wanted to talk about it too,
Hmm.
is I found the episode more interesting having not really remembered the game so well. But I can tell you from this first episode, they're not making huge changes. I doubt
Right.
that they will make huge changes. And if they do, I think that's okay because the guy who wrote the game is writing the show too.
Too. Yes.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
He's like co-show running basically. So I don't have a problem with any changes they make because it's just a reimagining of the original idea by the creator.
And it's
So
a
so
different
far
media,
though, yeah.
medium. I
There's
mean,
one change, Solo. I think the one change that they've made regarding casting, and I told Perry about this, and I think really the kind of uproar came from certain people, but not too many. It was just some people were like, okay, that's an interesting change, which is that in the game, Abby, the character that's played by Caitlin Devers is her name, right?
Kate
She's
Deaver, no S.
she's oh, okay. She's an
J-
amazing actress.
Justified, baby. That's when I first noticed her. She was great in
Oh, okay.
Justified.
I've seen her in
Oh,
all those Netflix and Hulu, and she just pops
okay.
up in every like she was in oh crap, it was such a fantastic Merritt Weaver was in it. It was a show about a serial rapist. I think it was
Oh, the one with Tony
Unbreakable.
Collette.
Yeah, Tony Collette. Yeah, I mean it wasn't Merritt
Um,
Tony, but was Merritt Weaver in that too?
yeah, no, no, she was.
Okay,
She was
cool,
a
cool.
detective working with
Yeah,
Tony
I
Collette.
love her. She's great.
Oh, she's great. Because whatchamacallit, Danielle McDonald, who was in the uh the Tourist, and she's
Yes.
been in a ton of stuff. She does a couple of episodes
Oh, okay.
in that. And when my friend Brad Bird was playing last year at one of the bars here in LA, and she was there, so I got to talk to her and hang out a little bit.
Nice.
And I couldn't
Nice.
remember the name, and then she mentioned it, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I still can't remember the name of the show, but it was a great show. I can't.
Well, in the game, Abby is much
Enough name
larger.
dropping for me now. Enough name
No,
dropping.
no, please continue. Solo, that's part of our show too. You're an actor in LA. You got to name drop. You got to tell us
Right.
about your auditions, what you're doing, your
Oh,
life, your
what about
loves,
when
everything.
Alex Hahn used to eat on the podcast when he did
Oh,
his
that's
or
true.
Lost podcast?
Well, Alex Hahn, though, he can get away with anything.
Well, he's Alex
He's a
Hahn.
master podcaster.
I miss
Um,
him. I miss
I
him.
do miss him too. Alex, if you're listening, get on a podcast with us. We'll talk. We don't need to talk about Prince, okay?
Or The
Don't
Wire.
worry.
We could talk about
Or The
anything.
Wire. Don't worry about the Prince estate coming after you. You'll be okay. Um, in the game, Abby is like a weightlifter. She's fucking like stacked. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
She's just very large. And that plays into her character in the game too. She's very physical.
Right.
Like, I mean, she's not like Reacher size, but she's very big and she's very strong. And that is something that, like I said, plays into the game. Do I think that's going to make a big difference in this? No. Do I think it has anything to say about the subtext of the show or the meaning of it? Maybe in certain respects, but not really because the actress they cast is fucking amazing.
Yeah, she's
So
even in
it's
those
like,
hotels.com commercials she's been doing. So mud baths. No,
well, that's
she's
right.
phenomenal.
Hotels.com.
And right off the bat, I got a sense of, oh, she's kind of playing a badass, I feel. Like I'm a little scared of her.
Yeah.
Like, so my questions for you right off the bat with the show.
Yeah. Hit me,
So
baby.
we have, of course, Joel and Ellie. They're at odds, like a teenager and a father, even
Yeah.
though he's not her father. But and we know something has really separated them. And immediately you're thinking, oh, did Joel tell her about killing all the people in the hospital? Probably not, because
Right.
it would probably get around that they could have had a cure and he decided to save her. Because that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Or did something happen in the last 5 years?
Hmm.
Um, Joel talking with the therapist, Catherine O'Hara plays
Oh,
Gail.
God. Those scenes were amazing.
Like because we find out Joel put down her husband, but it's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, was this in the last 5 years? Are we going to get flashbacks?
Another
Um,
mystery. Yep.
Another mystery.
Yep.
So it's just that I was trying to wrap my head around. Did I miss things or did things not happen yet? It has been 5 years, so they gotta go back and talk about the
Yes.
gap,
Yep.
I would think.
Yes. So we do start off, though, let's not forget, amazing cold open, which is basically a replay of the end of season one,
Right.
where she asks, that's really what happened, right? That we're going home. And then they go, right? Reestablishing the lie and what
Yep.
Joel did, which is basically in order to save his surrogate daughter, he gave up the only opportunity humanity had for a vaccine for this disease that has swept and turned everyone into a
Right.
fucking zombie, right? So he basically chose his surrogate daughter because remember in episode one his daughter died.
Yeah. Sandy
We saw
Newton's
his daughter
daughter
was
in real life.
killed. Yeah, wow. Man, what a talented family. Um her husband I think is like the ultimate house husband. I think I read some article about that. It's like a man after my own heart.
Oh,
Could you imagine that being like just a stay-at-home dad and that's your wife?
well, I lived through it with you.
That's true. Anyway, getting back to it. And then we have the scene with Abby and the rest of them. And then, yeah, we jump forward 5 years. So in that intervening 5 years, Abby and that the scene with Abby and the rest of her crew happened just a few days after Joel killed everybody.
Okay, so is those buried
Yes,
dead?
they're the
They're the hospital people?
Fireflies.
The
Those
Fireflies,
were
the
the
hospital people. Okay.
Fireflies, and they're the
Okay.
last remaining Fireflies, which is a bunch of
Oh,
kids.
okay.
Mel, Owen, Manny, and Nora. And
Okay.
a few of those
Cheers.
people you recognize. They're from, let's see, which, I don't remember which shows some of them are from, but I recognize two or three of them.
Yeah.
Also, the guy from Beef is in it too. I love him. He's awesome. He's going to play a good role in this, but he's on the other side. That scene takes place. Then we jump the 5 years,
Right. Right.
right? So at the end of the episode, when we see Abby and them, they have been searching for Joel for 5 years.
Damn.
That's why we're getting here, right? Like if you ask yourself, why are we at this point? We're
Right.
at this point because what we saw at the end of the episode. Abby has finally found Joel. Why was she looking for him? Because he murdered her, maybe her family members, her friends, plus the only hope humanity had for a cure. So, who's right here and who's wrong is a question we have to ask ourselves.
Ah,
But that's the question we have to say. Is Ellie so mad at Joel because she's a 19-year-old kid and it's not really her dad and she's struggling with her sexuality or even finding someone to be with? She's in love with her best friend. She's a little bit confused. She's a
she
kid.
falls in love with her best friends a lot. Well, one at a time.
It's it's a thing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's a thing.
Well, I'm in love with
Um,
you, so
I'm that's true. I love you too, Solo.
there you go.
It
The
happened on
last
the podcast, folks. The Last of
The
Us,
Last of Us,
Solo and
or
Frollo.
we could call it This Is Us if you really want
This is
to.
us. I get to be Sterling K. Brown.
God damn it!
Um,
Then I get to be Tracker.
okay, your tracker.
That actor I love.
Your tracker. You were married to the lady from Selling Sunset. Anyway, you know
No,
that
the
she's on there.
guy, the blonde guy
Yeah,
who was the
he was
Arrow.
married to the
Oh,
guy the woman
the guy?
Griselle,
Oh, the
Rochelle,
woman.
Chriselle.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. You
they're
weren't talking
married.
about the red one.
Anyway, or did something else happen? Which is, has she kind of figured out maybe that Joel, the choice he made, and that's
I,
what we do, or is it something else? We don't know. But it does
I,
seem extreme though,
yeah.
Solo, doesn't it? Like she's our buddy John Locke on the Facebook page said
Hmm.
she's a little bit too angry at him. Like this isn't like why is she so angry? And my response was, I think we might see a flashback
Yeah.
because I will admit in the game there is a little bit more, they do go more into the relationship. There's a little bit more time, but quite honestly, I don't remember what happened. So I'm
I
on,
do, and
I think
I didn't play the game, and I remember what happened. Whether it
so
happened or not.
I'm not playing I'm not trying to be coy here as a game player. I think that that's my guess is we'll get a flashback.
Because, you know, when she reacts to Joel, when she asks, she's not like, oh, okay, good, all right, you didn't do what, she kind of is like takes her time. It's in her head, and she's like, okay. I don't think she
Yeah.
ever believed him, to be honest.
I don't think so either. And I think maybe what it is that judging he think about it this way, he's seeing a therapist, right? If Ellie were to invoke the same methodology, she would say to herself, Joel is so overly protective of me. His daughter died. He has adopted me as his daughter and often tells people I'm his daughter, even though I'm not his daughter.
Right.
Did he make a decision to save my life that sacrificed whatever research the fireflies are doing? Wow, because she must also have heard in the intervening 5 years that there aren't really any fireflies left,
Mm,
right? So that's the world building
yeah.
part that I think has to be filled in, and that would be my guess that
And I
that would be a part
wonder,
of it.
I wonder if she even knew. I mean, she probably didn't know because Joel didn't tell her, but she was gonna die. Like, does she know that? Probably not, but does she have an idea? I don't know. And of course, it's the classic, it's not your decision to make. You're not
Yeah.
my father. Hopefully it won't be as cliche as that, but
Yeah, well, it's that's the I mean, that was the real gut punch of season one. And I think the dealing with it, having it be very present from the first scene of season two is really important because even after that happened, like going back again in the game, you are Joel and you have to kill those people. The game does not give you the option to walk out and let her die.
oh,
You have to kill the doctor, everyone. And while you're doing it, you know that what you're doing is you're stopping the cure, right? You're stopping scientific research there that could help many more people. So when you look at Joel, and when I looked at him, and you see he's so much older and grizzled, and then you made
been
the
through a
great
lot.
point about the therapist story. That's got to be a flashback to Solo, right? Like,
Yeah.
because she said this is my first year without my
Oh,
husband.
right. So it's been a year.
And
So
it's
yes, of
5 years
course.
later. So it
Yep.
had to have happened in a time that we don't know what happened, right?
Whether he turned and they had to kill him
It
or
seems like that's what it is. But she said the way you did it.
hmm.
Maybe it's that he's just cold blooded, right? Like Joel's a
Or he
killer.
he took him out to dinner and a movie and then killed him after that.
I mean, you'd think she'd be happy about that, though,
That would
right?
be a
Like,
nice, yeah, so it probably didn't happen that
what
way.
movie did they see? Maybe that's what it was. You know what I mean? He was like, it's a Michael
His Girl
Bay movie.
Friday, probably. Yeah.
Well, that's a classic.
That's why I figure they have access to that.
It's true. On Laserdisc.
I don't know. Yeah.
But it is cool to see the society that they've built, that Joel is now kind of, when they first arrived there, remember to see Tommy last season, they were outcasts, right? And they were not part of Tommy's group. They didn't want to stay, and there was problems where
Yeah.
they wanted to stay, and then he wanted to complete the journey. And now they're so fully committed that Joel is basically, even though they have kind of a tribunal or whatever you'd call it, a city council, really it seems like Joel is the president.
But also a client. Remember that hair club from men? Sorry.
Did
Uh,
it not seem that way to you that he was actually the one planning everything and telling everyone what to do?
well, I mean, because they have so many refugees they're letting in. They need more space. They need to build. And so he's kind of leading that, which seems to be a big part of that community.
Yeah, it seemed like
So,
they're asking him about it. So it's
yeah,
like he is kind
he's might
of,
have, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe he gained some sort of control, or not control, but be more of a leader. And
yeah,
so it was his decision to put her husband down or something. It could be, we'll see. Because, it's interesting because him and
that's
Tommy were
interesting.
contractors, so that makes sense. Um, but and it looks like Joel's close with his was it nephew or niece? I can't remember if it was the baby, Tommy's baby. Was it a boy
Oh
or a
yeah,
girl?
yeah. No, I think it was a little. I think it was a
It was a
wait. I think
boy,
it was a
right?
little boy. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you're talking about shooting monsters
yeah.
and yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the actress from True Blood playing his wife. I forgot about that.
No, did not
Did
watch
you?
True
Yeah.
Blood.
Oh, that was so good. Very campy though. I don't know if it's your style, Solo. Little ultra camp going on in True Blood,
I,
especially the
you
last
know,
couple seasons.
I do like camp, but I remember watching the pilot and loved it because I was like they were at a convenience store and you could get the blood, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But I just
Oh
never
man.
continued.
Yeah,
But
it's good.
someday, someday.
It's good. So I think that look, I was talking about my wife about that journey of Joel from when we first meet him, and then the outbreak kind of happens, and then you see many years later he's like this smuggler guy, right? He's kind of has a bad rep, and now he's kind of climbed back up. It's a really long journey that we've seen him go through, and to have such vulnerability. Pedro Pascal, man, what a great actor. And thank you to Game of Thrones for really bringing him to
That
the
was
world,
his.
you
I mean,
know?
he had been, of course, acting for a while, but Game of Thrones
Yeah.
like brought him globally, and then Mandalorian, and then he's done, he did Wonder Woman
Oh God, he's
1984.
everywhere now,
He's
right?
everywhere. Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, and remember that was that movie with Charlie Hunnam and a few of them the like the four Ben Affleck might have been in it. It was a Netflix movie where they're going to
Oh
look
yes,
for
it was like the
treasure or something.
712 or something. Like
Something, yeah.
it was yeah, wasn't that
What the
something? It was
heck?
some
The
numbers or
Four
something.
Frontier. I forget. I was about to say Four Brothers, but it ain't Four
Oh,
Brothers.
it was Frontiers something. Okay, I'll
Frontier
look it up while you
Seven. I
got.
don't know. Frontier Four. Or,
Yeah, it was maybe if we keep going,
if we,
we
yeah,
can
if I
figure
can
it out.
keep babbling, my researcher will look it up.
I will. I'm going to look it up right now. Pedro
But what we're
Pascal, Ben
saying with
Affleck.
But we're saying with Pedro Pascal, he's become such an A-lister. And think about, I mean, Mandalorian and
Triple
this and
Frontier.
Triple Frontier. Okay. We knew it was a
Yep.
frontier in there.
It was. We're in the
Um,
frontier of
it was okay. It
YouTube.
was, I mean, I like seeing those actors
Fun.
together, but it was, it was a fun like afternoon watch. Um, but
I have
no,
no
Pedro
delight you could see.
Pascal I mean, he has just gone to this new level and he just seems so cool like as a person. Oh, Narcos. He was in Narcos too, right? I didn't watch Narcos, but he was in that as well.
He was in Narcos. You're absolutely right.
Um, but no, Pedro Pascal is like the gift that keeps on giving. He's like I don't know, one of those go-to actors. If he's in something, I'm watching it. I don't care what it
Yeah.
is. It could be, Sense and Sensibility 34, iteration.
He is very
Or Pride
awesome.
and Prejudice.
I
Sorry.
love that commercial where he's dancing around.
Yeah.
He's just
The
he's a
Corona commercials.
yeah, he's
He speaks a
great.
little Spanish. I'm like, oh, he's so cool. He's just a cool dude.
He is.
And,
Handsome dude. The ladies love
very,
him.
yeah, he's a good looking man. But he's
Girls
just,
adore him.
but he just seems like it's so refreshing as an actor when you see other actors. I mean, there's so much that's thrown at them being a star and the work they put in, but to have like just this cool Steve McQueen attitude, it's just like, I don't know, just like it's like amazing because there's so much stress that goes on. And people are like, oh, it's great to be an actor, but man, when you're shooting the show like this stuff, the demands are high. You're putting in a lot of time and it's a lot of
Yeah.
work, and it shows. It shows how much work he's put in, which is
I like
phenomenal.
it. I like him as a person too. He has I think a trans sister and he's very supportive and he's very liberal, awesome dude and trying to bring people into acting too. I saw something him about working with young actors. And like you're saying too, Solo, where, you know, he didn't have his quote unquote, he was a working actor, but he didn't have his quote unquote big break until a little bit later, you know.
Yeah,
He's a
the
bit
the stardom
older.
break. Like you get your big break
So
that leads to you working as an actor professionally
working
consistently.
regularly, yes,
But
yeah.
but the I mean the break he got. I mean getting. I love to know. Did he audition for Game of Thrones? Were they like this? He's perfect for. It'd be interesting to see how he got. But he just. Is he
I will
still
be your
dating
champion.
Lena Headley? Weren't they dating for a while?
Were they really?
During Game of Thrones, they were dating, yeah.
Because she is something else too. Like in what I know of her private life, she's just
Oh,
like a kick ass. Like she doesn't give a fuck. That's cool. That's quite a power couple.
oh, Andy's telling us to make sure we check the YouTube comments.
Oh, what are the I'm
I don't
trying,
know.
Andy.
I'm
He's
not.
right.
I don't even know.
I
I
got
don't
to get,
know.
no, he's right. I got to get better at it. Here, I'm opening it up right now, Ando. See, I'm
You
always
see,
very,
Ando, we
see,
usually have you doing it. That's the thing. So me and
well, you know
Axel are
what, though?
together, we're a little lost.
We got to learn, though. Andy's right. Let's see. I'm going to
No, we
look at
gotta
these
learn.
comments. John
We gotta learn.
Locke, Narcos is must see TV. Hey, John, I was just saying your comment about, I hope you heard that. Ando was saying, glad you two decided to talk about this episode. I don't know anything about what happens, and it's challenging to avoid spoilers. I've noticed people tend to not care about spoiling with this show.
Hmm.
Andy liked the first episode, but didn't love it. Like I said, John Locke says Narcos is must see TV.
Is Narcos must see TV? I don't know. You didn't mention it much. Yeah.
That's what John Locke says.
Well, then it's I'm on it.
And
I
hey,
love Johnny Locke.
don't fucking tell him what to do, John
No,
Locke. Okay.
it's never
Um,
been
it
easy.
has never been easy. John Locke says, I didn't play the game, but I got spoiled about a huge event coming, really ticked off. Ando says, I might be in the tractor, but I can still produce. There's our little YouTube
He
corner.
did. He
He
did.
did.
He
He
just
fucking
did. He just
produced the show right
produced.
here. I love it.
Ando,
We
love you,
both, and you know
Ando.
what the thing too is, we both have too much as a filmmaker. It's killing me. We have so much space on top of our heads, but
Yeah,
I
I
want to
know.
zoom in. I don't want to just show me sitting like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you tend to center your head, but that's not proper. That's not
I
proper. It
yeah,
bothers me,
bear with me.
but
I got duct tape
see,
and stuff
that's
putting
why
this
for
thing
the
together.
Patreon, I what I need to get is this is what I want to get is a camera where I can zoom in a little bit. I have a green screen. I can actually give us a little better presentation here, maybe help other peeps too. Maybe like the TV talk days when you
I
get a
need
special
help. I
package
need
in the
help.
mail. Remember Solo?
Oh, yes, I still
We
have it.
got our, I know, I'm using it right
That
now.
was nice. Oh, the old
Um,
TV talk days. That was a good year.
it was a lot of fun. Met good, I'm still friends with those guys that I did my shows with.
Oh,
Very good
cool.
guys, very cool dudes. Spoilers. Okay. Yeah, so as John mentioned, and I've mentioned a lot too to people, it's kind of tough when it comes to The Last of Us. There's one certain event that people are spoiling, and then there's so much more that happens in this. So, John, the only thing I have to say to you is if you got spoiled, keep watching too, because I think that they can make a really compelling story out of this, even with you knowing this spoiler. But I
Right.
do caution everyone, like, listen to us. I will never spoil anything like that. I don't even remember a lot of what happened. Of course, I remember what he's talking about, but um, don't look at the comments. And especially if you're on social media, just like if I was still on like the Twitter or whatever it is, I would block any mention of this show at all from my feed if you're interested in watching this show spoiler free.
Yeah,
That's what I'll say about it. Block
I
it. Don't look at the
block it.
comments.
Yeah, to be honest, I am not on X hardly ever. I'm on Blue Sky, but I'm not on it. You know what I mean? And Facebook, I'm on once in a while. Like I'll do a Brett thing where I'll just look and then I'll be on there for
Yeah.
7 minutes
I
and
love when
just
you do that. So it makes me feel so loved. All of a sudden, I'll be sitting at home and I don't have notifications, but like whatever, watching a reality show, I look at the phone. All of a sudden, I have like 50 notifications. It's like, Solo loved your post from 8 weeks ago. Solo loved your post from 7 weeks ago. So
I
like,
know. Well, it's
and I'm
weird the
like,
way
I
they
love
come
it.
up. I get a lot of Lachlan stuff that comes
I
up, so
know.
of
I know.
course
They know what you
that's what I
like.
do it for, my family and friends, and
Yeah.
I try not to. I just don't have the time, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just not really my thing at this point in my life. you
Well,
know.
look, this is working out. I have my phone here in front of me, and I can look down every once in a while and see the comment. This is what I'll do from now on. Just
Okay.
every once in a while, I'll look down at the comment. Thanks, Anda. But okay, so how are you feeling about how the show ended solo? Obviously, throughout the show, what we established, a lot of it was Ellie's new relationship with her best friend, right? Um, her
I love her, by
challenging
the way. She
authority.
was so good.
Yes.
I
What
love
was her
when
name? I
I,
want to get,
I
I had
think
it
I
up
should know.
here.
But I love when they're doing the like the military, like the hand gestures when they're going into
Isabel
the,
Merced is her name.
what's her character's name?
Dina.
Dina, that's right.
Dina. Yeah.
I love the way Dina, when they were doing the hand gestures of going into the convenience store or whatever that
Yes,
was that
that
a
was
convenience
very cool.
store?
Oh, that's where I knew her from.
What?
Oh shit, I am very excited.
Oh,
She was in Dora and the Lost City of Gold, the Dora the Explorer movie,
oh,
which
she
I
was
watched,
Dora?
yeah, in 2019, which I watched with Lachlan. It
Oh,
seems like God, he was only six 6 years old then, I guess. But
oh,
yeah, she is great. Okay, I knew she brought like as soon as she was on the screen, she has that it factor. She's got
totally.
charisma.
She looked
Yeah.
like a young oh God, I used to be so good at names.
Um,
There's an actress, Latin actress. She was on
it's
Lost. She was on this great
so,
show,
so
Boomtown. Wait, what are you laughing at? Well,
because I have my phone looking at the YouTube. You need to just have Siri next to you and on the podcast. You need to be like, Siri, who was that lady, that Latin actress? You know who I'm talking about. You sound like my uncle describing
dude,
something.
I was never this bad in my
I thought you were
life.
going to say, what's her name? Anna de Armas. De
No,
Armas. She kind of reminds
she's
me of her a little bit.
a little.
Anna
She's
Lucia? John
no,
Locke
not
says
Anna.
not Anna
No,
Lucia.
Lana Parrilla is the actress's
Lana
name.
Parrilla. Okay. Lana
She's been
Parrilla.
in a ton of stuff. She reminded me of a young version of her. Anyway, uh, I got a question.
Yeah.
So Ellie, the way she's kind of reckless in doing the
Yes.
patrols,
Yeah.
is that if she in her mind thinks Joel, if she figured it out that Joel killed these people for her to save her life and whatever, is she just in that zone of I don't care anymore and I'm gonna push myself to the ultimate? Or is it a total different thing why she's acting now? Because I know she feels she's 19, she's an adult, she feels like she's being held back and can't do what she wants to do, but she's reckless. And even
Yeah.
the adult supervisors on this patrol were like they have no control over the two of them.
Exactly. They didn't even try,
Yeah.
right? At
It was
first
like,
I was like, what? Those other two dudes on the horses seem like they're like grown-ups too. They could say to
yeah,
her, stop, but it's like they're so used to it at the right, like as they're climbing up, there's a great shot where they're in the background and in the foreground, it's that guy, it's the woman who's the leader, been called the leader and the guide. He kind of moves his horse up and he's like, you're just gonna let him go up there,
yeah,
huh? And
yeah.
she's like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, yep, okay. I guess we're gonna do it. I think it's also has to do with the fact, Solo, that she is immune to the virus and to this that has
Oh, on
destroyed all
her
of
end, because a lot of
humanity.
them do, because they don't
Yeah.
know.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. Oh, you're talking about
I'm
Ellie's.
talking about her
Yeah.
internal.
I think it's a mix of that. I mean, think about that, dude. If you're 19 and you know a secret that you can't tell anyone, which she usually later screams out that because Tommy knows, but
Yeah.
she screams it out and he's, oh my God, right? Wouldn't you feel a bit invincible? I mean, didn't you feel like you were invincible at 19 anyway?
Oh, I was because
Me
I'm
too,
still here.
baby.
Because I'm still here.
I
So I guess
know.
I guess I was. No, but
We were right.
you know
The
you do feel
90s
that
were
way.
right.
No, you do feel that way. Like, and and I get the whole. I mean, she's got her own room in the garage, and
Yeah.
she needed her
It's
step. you know, and
dude.
she's at that age, and
She,
she's growing up in a post-apocalyptic world with not many friends. I
yeah.
mean, it's a different. That's why, like at first, I'm like, God, Ellie, I'm getting so annoyed at the way she's acting.
It was
But
a bit much. I
it was a
admit, I
bit
agree.
much.
I agree.
But can you blame her? Can you
Right,
blame
right.
her? Poor
Yeah,
thing
right.
is from birth has been brought into this awful world, and she's known as like the savior possibly or whatever, you know. And so and a total stranger is now, I mean, it's been a few years, you know, chunk of years,
Yeah.
but you still, as you get older, like, what about my blood? What about my, you have Tommy, you know? And so like I get it. I get why. And then she has a little, but she has that, Bella Ramsey has that little thing where you kind of like, she's kind of like sassy, but it's kind of cute and funny. But
Yeah, because she has her face is so interesting. I was talking about it with my wife. She has such a baby face, right? Like she even though we know she's older
but if you told
now,
me she was 50, I would believe it. So the face,
I know.
you know,
It's true.
it's interesting.
It's it's ve and that's why she's an actress. And it helps that she also has great talent coming from
Oh,
inside
she's,
her. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it
no, she's
she know
very
well
talented.
that's Solo, you know too, what can make a great actor or actress is knowing what you look like and how you come across to other
Know your
people.
type. Know your type.
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
belong to a great organization called the Actors Network, and it basically dealt with the business side of acting. Because as an actor, you got to get an agent, you got an audition, but how do you market yourself? What can you do on your own in order to get ahead and be prepared? And one of the things, sessions they had was where you sit in a chair and they have everyone, there's like 10 people there, and there's a questionnaire, and they basically, by your look, type what they see, kind of like what
Oh, I
casting directors
love
see.
that. I
So
love
you
that.
knew, like, because a lot of us come to Hollywood and we think, you know, we're young and good looking. Oh, we're
Yeah.
leading men or women. But then it's like, well, as you get older or find yourself, there might be certain roles that you people just look at you and look like a mobster or a cop.
Yeah.
And you just got to go with that. And that's how you break in, and knowing your type, not getting the wrong headshots of you all glammed up. Maybe you get one where you're
Exactly.
dirty and, you know, have a button down and look
People
rugged.
don't get this, Solo. People think that the way that casting is done, I think if the average viewer knew what people said about actors and actresses in casting sessions, they would think it's like illegal, like, oh, you're not allowed to talk, you're not allowed to typecast and stereotype people like that. It's like,
I was like,
no,
yeah,
you
you
don't
are.
understand. You
I know.
have to, it's part of the job. And
Yeah.
an inability to do that can cause on either side, right? Like you're trying to make people look a certain way or be a certain type of person when they don't look like that, right? Or the other way around, you're not doing it because you don't like the people in a certain sense, right? Like if be it an actor, actress, their personality or whatnot. It's very interesting how you have to be like that. And I find that to be ultimately in life that helps too, right? Solo,
Right,
like
right,
you meet people and you're like, they don't know their type. They have no idea how they present to the outside world.
right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you've got to know who you are. Like for instance, there's certain actors or actresses who a lot of times play like crackheads or something or drug
Yeah,
addicts.
yeah.
They look like drug addicts. They're not drug addicts,
They
but they
just
look
look
like a
like
meth
it and
head.
they can pull it off, and
Yeah.
you'll get cast as
Yes.
that
And you've seen them
constantly.
on TV. You're like, oh shit, it's that lady who always looks like. I'll give you an example. In that show, Unbelievable, there's an actress.
Unbelievable. That's what it was called.
That was what it was called. Unbelievable. There's an actress who has traditionally played either an alcoholic, a drug addict, a mom. Her name is Dale Dickey. You know
Oh
her.
yeah.
You've seen her in a million
Yeah.
things, and she has a face that it looks like that, and or she's played someone mean, right? But then you'll get a great casting agent or a great director who will turn her look into something better. And that's what they do in that show, Unbelievable. They play with it because I think she's kind of like she's undercover. She's a cop, but she plays
Right,
like
right.
A crack. So that's so interesting, Solo, to talk
Yeah,
about
because
that.
sometimes you will find, and this happens more with the A-lists, the big
Yeah.
stars, casting against type. Um,
Yes. Yeah. Of
so
course.
sometimes, like you remember
It
Jim
can be
Carrey,
genius.
comedian Truman Show was more of a serious movie. Had a little things, but like, or
That's great.
someone
That's a
playing the
great
bad guy,
example.
or someone playing the bad guy all the time, then all of a sudden they're good in a show. Like it does happen, and they do
Hmm.
take chances. But
Yeah.
a lot of your supporting character actors, literally, you do get typecast, which in the old days used to be bad, but now there's just so much money and
It can
and
lead to a
work.
lot of work.
It
You're
can
known
le
for that. Yep.
Why not? You
Yep.
know?
Exactly.
So,
What would I Solo typecast me?
okay, zombie. No, typecast you. I would say, well, definitely you could play a father,
That's what I, yep.
radio disc jockey. You could do the stoner,
Okay,
but
that's
you
true.
don't talk like a stoner, so you might have to be more like, hey
Okay.
man, you
Here,
know.
let's go
Um,
without the glasses then.
okay. Oh, executive.
Okay.
An executive of a big business, but with a
Oh,
side that you're quite
oh.
not sure if you could believe it or not.
See,
Uh,
I always think I look goofy. I think maybe I think I
you know,
look goofier
you
than
could
people
do the
think.
goofy, but no,
Yeah.
your straight look, like right
Friendly.
now, you could
Really? You
no,
don't
but
think I look friendly?
no,
I
you're
thought I
friendly.
got the eyebrows do something too, though. I got the eyebrows solo.
You or the cool crazy uncle.
There you go.
Um,
That's what yeah.
I
I'm
think
trying to know my type.
I think maybe you could even do a retired war veteran who's lost it.
Ah, yeah,
Like I
yeah,
could see you in the
yeah.
woods, living in a cabin, about to shoot
Well,
anybody trespassing,
that's I
put a
kind of
flannel on you.
also have like the oldie, like Irishy, Germany, Englishy type of face. You know what I'm
You
saying?
could be
Like,
a bar owner of like an old local bar,
there you
Irish
go.
bar.
Yep.
Um,
Retired baseball player, maybe, or
um,
something.
you could be a great dead body.
Oh, thank
Like
you.
you a
Oh,
murder victim. I think
now
you
my
could do it.
body's involved. Okay, not just my face. I like it.
But it's seriously like in the casting notices, I mean, it literally says like a lot of times will be like they
Yeah.
want someone skinny or someone
Yes.
over, but that you have to accept that as an actor. You
That's
can't take it
And
personally.
that's okay.
It's all
That's
right.
okay. You're creating art. And if you have a vision in your mind that this is what the person looks like, that's what they look like. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, people, art is so subjective that it's just, it can fucking kill not to get the right actor, actress, just even in a background, just the look that you want on
When you're a
screen.
director or producer, it doesn't matter the background roles, one-liners,
Yeah.
your vision, you want everything to look the way you want. A
Yes.
simple role,
Yeah.
still, you directors get excited. You may have
Yeah.
three lines, but if you look like the part and you do a good job, it's part of the whole cohesive, you
Dude,
know.
I'll tell you a great story. I was at my physical therapy for my neck and my shoulder, which is going much better, by the way, folks, much better.
Oh, you could be a
Um,
hospital patient. I would cast you in that.
the hair, I got the hair too, so it could go up and crazy. You know what I'm
We could
saying?
do wonders with that hair.
I could be an alternate universe Conan O'Brien,
Y-
perhaps. I'm not as
Yes.
severe looking as him, though. I think I'm a little. I think he's got a
You
much more
got more of a
severe look
deeper
than me.
voice though than his high
True,
pitched.
true.
Um,
My voice, see, that's the thing is my voice betrays me. I would be cast based on my voice too, right?
right.
But
Yeah.
you have a great voice too, Solo. That's why you know what I'm saying? I like it when you're in your auditions and such when I can really hear your voice because you have a great voice and a
Yeah,
great control of it.
yeah, I learned that especially doing the Star City Murders where because a lot of time, I'll read for mobsters or a cop. So it's a different persona.
Yeah.
Then, or I'm doing, a detective, a lead, and I can't do like the New York accent. They want just a regular. So I kind of have to, there's ways to control the voice that I do have to do. Even when I read for not too long ago, I can't say what it was for. for NDA purposes, but like a period piece. And the way the writing was, it was very like Shakespearean. So I do feel a different voice coming out of me
That was great. I
when I'm
saw
doing it.
that too. That
Well,
was
no, no,
great,
you
dude.
didn't see
I
it. You
did.
didn't see it.
Oh, I didn't see it. I never
Yeah, you
saw
didn't
it.
see it.
But
You never saw it.
you on the phone you did it. That's what I mean.
No, no, no,
On the
no.
FaceTime you pretended
No.
like it was something totally
Well,
different and did a voice
you
like
were
it.
helping me rehearse and you
Yes,
saw
that's
it.
what I meant. That's what I
And
meant.
and
Yes.
you agreed not to mention it
Yes,
because
I
I'm
did.
not allowed to.
I
But
did.
anyway, but yeah, it's just
Is
like
that what happened? I don't even remember. I just
it's
talk on podcasts. Don't worry,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
folks.
No, you don't even know what the hell we're talking about. But no, but
Just do it.
it's a different I'm not gonna be like, hey, how you doing?
Right,
It's
of
gonna be more
course.
like
Yeah.
you zealot,
Yeah.
so
Acting is so fun, but I like that because, I mean, of course, in today's day and age too, there's a lot of political fire that actors, actresses, casting, the academy, different rules and such of that. And for me, I always think that there's a big difference between in front and behind the camera. And I always want to encourage more so when you make the changes behind the camera, then the changes in front of the camera are real. When you just make them in front of the camera, it's just more acting. You catch my drift? Like
yeah.
the diverse people need to be directing, editing, shooting, PAs, camera people, all that kind of stuff. That's where you really, and then you get the better real stories. Then you get people being able to tell their true stories of where they're from. And you don't
Or
get
amazing
like
stories.
amazing stories but then you don't get
Oh,
shit that's
no.
just basically corporate
Right,
stuff,
right, right.
and what I like about The Last of Us is that I feel all these characters are very real, and though what Ellie's going through, it's like you say, dude, it's crazy. You're in the post-apocalypse, I mean, just like kind of being a young lesbian falling in love with your best friend who then is maybe kind like, is it real though? Because what does Ellie feel? She was just with their friend before and he's a dude. You know what I'm saying? And they're on and off, on and off, on and off. So she's insecure about that relationship.
Right.
I
Well, I
love that
think
actor. That's the guy from Beef,
oh, okay.
Dina's boyfriend.
Yeah, I never watched Beef. It's just tough for me to watch something called Beef.
You will love it. You need to watch it, Solo. I'm telling
Okay.
you. You would
Beef.
fucking love it, dude. It's right
It's
up
not
your
just about
alley.
eating Taco Bell on the side of the road. There's more to
No,
it than
it's
that.
not
Okay.
about beef. It's about having a beef.
Oh, I thought it was about meat.
Yeah, it's not like the Ronald McDonald story with
Ronald
Batman.
McDonald, Ronald McDonald story. Did they ever do a Ronald McDonald story
Yeah, Michael
movie?
Keaton was in it. He played McDonald.
Oh,
What's his name?
Founder, but he wasn't
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald. I thought maybe they had a history
Oh,
of
wait a second.
VH1 Ronald McDonald.
Wait. You're telling me that Ronald McDonald, that character, didn't found McDonald's himself? That big 7 foot
Um,
tall clown?
no, no, I never played the McDonald's video game. I don't know.
All right.
Um,
What else we got
but
for The Last of Us,
okay, what I
Solo?
want to say is on the tip of Dina and Ellie, it almost felt like with Dina, she knows Ellie has a crush on her. She's into guys, maybe, who knows? And I think with the alcohol and everything, she just kind of like, I'm not gonna say teased her, but kind of, it was an interesting thing, like almost like, hey, I know you're in love with me. I don't know if I can quite do this yet, but maybe let's go
Yeah.
for it. I think it definitely the buildup was there, but you definitely saw with Ellie more of a emotional connection, and she was more like you could see
Maybe
it in her face.
sexual, maybe her
She was
friend,
going
you mean?
through, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm because Ellie, like, her friend seemed more drunk and like kind of into it, and
Exactly.
but we don't know in the morning if she would have been like, hey, you
Well, you've
know,
been there solo. Haven't you ever been there where you have some kind of unrequited love and then that person looks at you and you're like, oh shit, this is going down. And you're so excited, but then you're also kind of like, I'm the more excited one. Like they just made the decision to take something they could have taken at any certain point.
right, right.
I've been the one sitting here waiting for them to want me, you know?
Yeah.
John Locke, by the way, says his wife made him watch Beef, and glad that she did. Great show. It is. It really is. You'll love it, Solo, and it takes place in and around where you live. So I think you'll like that too.
Oh,
Maybe
the
might recognize some
prison?
stuff. And what's his name? The dude,
Steve Zen,
Steven.
Steve Yeun or Steve
Yes, he is
Zen. I forget it.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's an actor that at first with The Walking Dead, I was like, I wasn't sure, but
yeah.
he really started to get into the character and really became likable and prove, and then he's done amazing work
He's
from
awesome,
that.
dude.
It was just nice to see his evolution because he was relatively unknown before Walking Dead. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
and
totally. And he's the voice on Invincible, and that is some fantastic
he was
voice
in
acting.
Mayhem that my buddy Joe Lynch directed. Great, crazy
Nice.
movie.
Nice. Yeah,
Um,
he's had some big he's done some great indie films,
yeah,
some Academy Award stuff.
yeah, no, he was
He is
nominated, right?
fantastic. Yeah. I would, I was just watching, not to digress too much, but I was watching the new Black Mirror, and I was actually thinking, was
Oh, is
he
that
ever
out
in Black
already?
Mirror? He'd be great in Black Mirror. He
Hmm.
should be. Charlie Booker, whatever. You should go get him and put him in Black Mirror. He'd be fantastic because he
This
could
new
play
Black Mirror. How
anything.
many new Black Mirrors are out?
I think it's 7 episodes.
Oh my God, I forgot. Oh, I love Black
Yeah.
Mirror.
I went right to the USS Callister episode, the second one of the Star Trek with Jesse
Oh, they did a second
Plemons.
one?
Yeah,
They're doing a
yeah, yep,
Oh, that was a good
yeah.
one.
It's like an hour and a half. It's like a movie. It was great. What they did was great in that. But I will say this: I've only watched 2 episodes so far of the seven because there's a lot of TV on right now.
Right.
And I watched the Paul Giamatti one, which was absolutely beautiful, heartbreaking. Yet, like the Callister one, and I don't want to say any spoilers here, but I was not upset watching these 2 episodes. And Black Mirror is usually
Usually
something at the
upsets
end of
you.
the episode, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. Like there's certain episodes, that go way awful and you feel like awful after, but it's
Right,
awesome.
right.
It's an awesome awful, but
Yeah,
not these
yeah.
episodes though. I actually felt a bit uplifted, if I may say so.
My
So
baker.
kind of uplifted.
Yeah.
Not totally. There's some terrible shit that happens in both of those, but in general, it wasn't as bleak as
Did you
some of
want
the
to
other. I'm sure I'll get to them.
did you want to talk about the Catherine O'Hara sessions at all? Or did we already cover it? I wasn't sure if you had
No,
mentioned
I
you wanted to
think
say
that's
something.
well. We talked about her husband that Joel killed.
I mean, when she comes out and says, I can't stand you or I hate you and I've freaking and I'm
Yeah,
like, why the heck are you being at the therapy? But that's something we're gonna learn, I'm sure.
yeah,
But that was amazing and it almost broke Joel. He was ready to, I mean, he
yeah.
tore up and he could see the
He
pain
was.
inside of him.
I thought he was going to tell her,
I thought so too, but I'm glad he didn't because she would have ratted his ass out.
and that shows Solo that he knows, right? Like you asked, why is Ellie so upset? And it's probably because when a person has a secret like that and you're so close to them, you know that they have that secret. Come on, we've all been there, right?
Right.
Like she
100%.
knows something's wrong
Something's, yeah.
and he won't tell her. I love the idea that he's going to therapy. I thought it was really cool. Such an evolution of his character.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
But the
like the,
pain he's going through, man, you
yeah.
just see it again. I mean, yeah, Pedro
Well,
Pascal. I mean,
the real
well,
pain, though, Solo, in that scene is that dirt bag of weed that he tried to give her. Because
I
I was like, what the fuck? That's some shit I used to get in
thought that was
college at
seaweed.
Rutgers, man.
Well, you can only get so much in
That was
Wyoming, I
like
guess, these days.
brick. That was like when weed used to come in like just dirt bricks, bro. And it would be like, you'd get like a portion of like the end of the brick, and someone would just put it in a bag, and it would be all seeds
Did
and
you get it
stems.
from Ryan Johnson?
Uh,
Brick?
no, I did not get a Brian Johnson,
Okay, I
but
wasn't
I
sure
thought
if
you
you did.
meant Ryan from Smokers.
Oh,
Um,
or yeah. Well.
but you then have to separate because you're new to this Solo. You'd have to separate the seeds from the stems, or
I
you'd have to pick
remember
the weed
fraternity
off
brothers
of the,
doing that.
yeah. You'd have
Yeah.
to sort it yourself, which is so funny because then years later, here I am living in Oregon, and I went to work at a pot farm for a couple of months, and I'm clipping and sorting. And meanwhile, it's so sticky and amazing buds that I have to wear gloves. And by the end of the day, my arms are covered in just the fucking weed crystals, which we call keef in the biz. And I could go like this and like lick it and I'd be high while I was working. It was crazy,
You know
dude.
what? You just now I envision you in a remake of Cool Hand Luke, working in the fields.
I like it.
What we got is failure to communicate.
Speaking of cool hand, James is in the chat. Hello,
Nice.
Grandpa James. He says Dina is sus. Interesting.
Oh, I forget what is sus again?
Like suspect. He doesn't trust
Okay.
her.
Okay, sus.
And he also says weed is the currency in Jackson. I like that.
Oh,
Anywhere where
okay.
weed is the currency, you'll find the Axeman podcasting there. And Solo's coming too. I'll make him into some
Yeah,
gummies for you, buddy.
yeah. Hey, a little weed soda.
Little weed soda for Brett. We'll do it up. It'll be nice.
So
He'll
you can go
jump
on a
back. He'll
16
jump right back
mile.
into the text chain after that weed soda. Talk about how good the Braves are doing or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Hold
anyway,
on, I need some
what else
water.
do we have going on in this
Oh,
episode? This is a
well,
fun one today, buddy.
is that a new is that a new what do we call these creatures?
Clicker,
Okay, was
creature.
that a I know the clickers. Is this one
Yeah,
different? Because they seem to not charge. It
right.
was weird.
Yes, good
Is
one.
this a different type? Are they called stalkers
Okay,
or something?
so this type creature and what we see at the end, the
The horn, the
I don't know how they're going to describe it in the show, but
okay.
did you see how what was coming through the pipes was a bunch of like weeds and stuff?
Yeah, and then it
And
had
then
the
we see it moving
hmm
at the end, right? Like it has found its way in there through the pipes.
I feel like I'm in the pipe right now.
So this is a concept that is in the game from the beginning, which they're now introducing later in the
Oh, okay.
show.
Okay.
There was some difference in the way they described like the fungal outbreak and such that was in the game and the show, and they left some elements to bring in later. And this is, I'm not going to fully explain it. I'll just say that that was an element that they brought that they're bringing in a little bit later. And I
So
don't
is
know if
this
I
a
really
different
even remember.
mutation? Is this a different mutation of the creatures or
From what I remember, it is.
okay.
I honestly, I don't really. It's like I said, it's been, and even playing the game, it's been 3 years or more.
Okay.
Like
I'm
I
sure
played
they'll
it a bit
explain it
longer
at
than
some
the
point.
first one, but it's cool. It adds to the mythology
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
creature, which is
yeah.
one thing I wanted to mention. My hope is that, and I was happy to see stuff like that because I love the story of Joel and Ellie. I love this story of reconstructing a new world, you know?
Hmm.
But I am really interested in kind of the sci-fi mythology of the creatures and the disease. And is there still a possibility for a cure? Is there any, right? Like, I
Yeah.
kind of dig that, the origin, maybe we get into the origins of it, because I always think that The Walking Dead made a huge mistake not doing that. I think that's very interesting stuff.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the season.
Yeah.
This is must see TV. Uh and this is,
And we'll see what
appointment TV
happens
viewing.
when they go down that hill. That's going to be the next episode. Abby and that gang. What are they going to do? You know?
But then they may get scared and they'll start running up that hill. A minute to go.
I like that. Solo is
Another
bringing the classics in there. Oh, by the way,
day.
Grandpa James says the foreman effed up. He didn't seal the pipe. Well, they better seal that pipe because
Yeah,
could you
because
imagine being on the turlet and then all of a sudden one of those things goes up your beanhole? That would not be fun, dude.
because they got when
Dina,
Dina went to talk to
Dina
Joel.
Manzo.
He said, just gave her instructions, but I guess it never happened. They didn't follow through because stuff came up.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like,
They
what can Joel
slacking?
do? And maybe they don't know what they're up against. That's the feeling I'm getting, right? Like
Yeah, they may not know what that is.
we're
Yeah.
coming. We always want to ask ourselves whenever we're doing a show, right, Solo? I know I do. Why are we in this time? Why are we here now? And when I say to myself, why are we this 5 years later? It's because one, Abby and the gang arrived, and two, something's coming through the pipes. So, this nice little community that has been calm and safe, and they have their routines, and they open the gate, and it's 5 years of safety. Obviously, it seems to
Is
me, is going to be challenged
yeah, it's gonna be
by
very it's
two
gonna be
fronts,
challenged.
So it'll be fun to see. All right, what else
Yeah.
you been watching,
It was
buddy?
New Year's Eve. It was New
Oh
Year's
yeah,
Eve.
so metaphoric, a new day, but is it a good day? I didn't have to bring
Mayday.
my AK. See,
JJ
you said
Bleday.
Mayday,
I did say
J-Day.
Mayday.
All
And
right.
JJ Bleday is a baseball player for the A's.
Oh, okay.
So
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
know
throw that
that.
in there. Um, I gotta, get rolling soon, but I do
Oh,
want to talk a
okay.
few things.
Highway
Um,
rolling with house.
do we talk about the season finale of Yellowjackets? Do we ever talk about that?
We did not. You watched it?
Yeah,
You watched the whole season.
yeah. Did
Okay,
you?
let's do it. I'm
No?
ready to go. Let's dive in. Here we go, folks. If you have not watched the whole season 3 of Yellowjackets, jump off right now. That's probably going to be most of what the rest of this podcast is going to be,
Yeah.
except here and there. But I want to hear what Solo has to say, or it might just be 5 minutes. Who knows?
It may be 6 minutes.
Okay.
So I mean, we've talked a little bit about Yellowjackets this season and the struggle where we really didn't like season two. Season one seems like a different show. Season three kind of is a happy medium. There's been some good things this season. I just feel like some of I don't know if it's the writing or, um, how do I say this? It just seems like things happen in the show without thought, without thinking it out in the writer's room. Like some things happen, it's like, I don't know. I feel it's a clunky show, but it's interesting and I don't know. I'm struggling. I don't know if I like the show, Axel, but I keep watching it.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is what
having
I
trouble.
said. This was my review, okay? Because I want to do this only because I think that at the time I actually put my thoughts together quite succinctly on our daily DVR, a TV and film podcast. Please join our Facebook group. We
Yes.
always get great new people joining from everything we watch. The other day, I had a little conversation. It was about the pit, and I was like,
I still got to
just
watch that.
yeah, oh man, a little hard for me because the of all the medical shit, kind
Hmm.
of little tough
Yeah, I got to
for
be prepared. I got to be
X
in the
Man.
right. I got to be in the right mindset for that.
Yes, definitely. Well, here, let me bring this up real quick so I can see what I said about this here Last of Us. I mean, not Last of Us. I'm sorry, Yellow Jackets. Basically, I'm not okay. Yellow Jackets season 3 finale. Not terrible, not very good. So I guess like this season, I'd give it a solid C. A promising middle with a beginning and end that seemed haphazard and non-committal. I think there is a huge disconnect between what viewers perceive and what the creators think they are making. They really needed to bring in a more experienced showrunner to bring this home. This is how I feel about Yellow Jackets. I think it's a great idea. I think the creators had never done a show before at this large. I think they had had hands in shows here and there,
Hmm.
unless I'm
Hmm.
incorrect. We did cover it, so that's what I remember. John, I will not, I'll try not to spoil. But we are, oh, take care. Oh, John left. Okay, he didn't get to
Okay.
season 2 yet. Okay, because we are going to spoil. I shouldn't say we're trying not to. We are going to.
We will.
But anyway, that's what I think, Solo. I think they're making a show in their minds, right? and they're not communicating it to the audience. They're making a different show. It reminds me of the last couple seasons of Westworld, where we'd read what the creators were saying, and they're like, "This is what's happening," and we'd be like, "That's not what's happening on the show.
Right, right.
What the fuck are they like?" I read an interview with the creators, and I was like, "Are they talking about a different show?" Because the things they think are important or that we're taking, like this season ends with Shauna making some kind of declaration that she needs to take control, that this thing has controlled her or something. How is she going to take control? Kill more people? Isn't that
Well,
wasn't that
who's
the point?
left? I mean,
I
I know
know
there's a
that's what
people.
it's
It's
like.
just
There's nothing to take control of. It's all platitudes, and it's just not coming together. And the actresses are working their asses off trying to make it work. I still
yeah.
find them all enjoyable to watch.
They're all great. It's just it's almost like they're in this bubble. Like, okay, we're gonna do the
What
best
are
we
we gonna
can
do?
with what we
Right?
have,
Is it
because
supernatural? Is it not? Is it this? Is it that? Are we bad? Are we good? Who
because
cares?
season two took way too much time with leading up to the feast of eating a human. Season one, when I forget who was it, Natalie? Natalie was kidnapped, and then it turns out it was Lottie and all that. But like they missed the boat there. They needed a badass off wilderness in present day like group that
Yes, a real
w
cult.
that was after these yellow jackets and they have to come together to fight this. When that mystery was there, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And then they totally, it's just them pretty
Yeah,
much. And so it was like it fell flat for me. I was
yeah.
expecting more of a, oh my God, Natalie's
We
kidnapped and
remember Solo. We thought that they were going to take it from this little town in Jersey, and they were going to expand it into the world. That this cult, they even made kind of allusions to something big is going to happen, or
right,
that like maybe while they were there in the wilderness, they found some sort of ultimate power, and maybe even what's her name's position as a state senator could help them ascend
right,
into
right.
politics or something. But instead, they keep on it's like a circle. One of them goes nuts and kills people. Then they think they're all nuts. They don't trust each other. They get together in a room. Somebody dies. And then this episode too, you bring in Hilary Swank, who basically steals the show. She's awesome. And then you don't put her in the finale. What are you doing? Like honestly, like literally, if I was in that writer's room, I would sit them all down and go, hey, everybody, listen, we gotta like hard reboot this show next season. And like we've got to decide what are we actually trying to show here? Because I like to try to look at subtext and themes and what the show is about, what it's communicating. This show's not communicating anything. Maybe it's kind of about women self-destructing by hating each other and not trusting each other. That's all. And like how
Yeah.
it started in the 90s and it continues till today. I mean, I could maybe write some kind of college paper about that if I tried hard, but I think I'd be inventing most of it and giving them more credit than they deserve. And I don't mean to sound so harsh, because actually watching the show is much more enjoyable than it was in season two. It's a lot funnier, and I think it's kind of fun. But also, like Shauna's daughter killed Lottie. Who cares?
It's like always the it in you, and it's like,
Well, Solo, did you feel that they were trying to build up Shauna's daughter as like some Jesus character? Like they took her first baby, they gave us you, that's not really her
mm,
daughter. But didn't she have her way after she left the wilderness?
that's what
She's
I'm
not that
thinking.
old.
Yeah, she's in high school, or college or high school, whatever age she's at. So if they've been, it's 25 years, she's probably like 22. So yeah, she had it
She was already
when she
home
got
for a
back.
couple of years when she
See,
got
that's the
pregnant.
thing too, is the whole how they get off the island, the wilderness and everything. It's just there is no like stakes.
That was so
They missed
stupid.
the boat on that.
Yeah,
And
not
now,
exciting at all.
one thing I'm a little interested in, but they kind of been ruining it in the present day, is when they get back to civilization, I'd like to see what these
Me
characters
too.
do.
Me
That
too.
interests me. How
Yeah.
do they get to the point? But the problem is, can they make it interesting enough that we care about it because we're seeing
And also they're
the
going to be in
end?
the same place solo. So like if they come home, they're coming home to the same town in New Jersey that they all now live in,
Yeah,
right? Or at least Shauna lives in it. So this whole thing where they have the other thing is in the interviews I read, those scenes when Liv and Lottie, right? It's Liv, right? See they're adults, but they're talking to their child versions, their
right, right.
teen versions. Supposedly, this is much more important to the show than we perceive it to be, and it may be the whole key to the show. That in actuality, they're trying to pull some Newhart bullshit where
I don't know
maybe
what they're
none of
trying to
this stuff
pull.
ever happened. It was
I
it
don't
was
know.
a
I
it
don't
was
know.
like it was like a what do they call that a group delusion that all those girls actually died in the thing and they were just like found very quickly after like there's a lot
Right.
of theories out there
Yeah.
about what
I
they're
don't
trying to
know.
do,
I don't have to know.
but it doesn't have the backbone like Lost did to substantiate those theories.
I'm
You
just
know what I'm
not.
saying?
If it wasn't for the actors in this
Yeah,
and
me
the
too. I
actors,
agree. Yep.
I mean, because they're making their performances they're given are phenomenal, and that's what keeps me going. But the whole mystery and stuff is so like I have no idea where they're going, and it's not
Yeah.
that they're being smart and keeping things from us, so we keep asking questions. You think the show's going one way, then it goes this way, then it's like doesn't know what it wants to be, and so I don't know. We don't even know if it's renewed for another season. Um, I
If
kind of will
that,
keep watching just because I want to see how it ends.
me too. Me
But
too. And if that was the series finale, that I guess I could kind of accept it a little bit, but
I couldn't because Melissa's still out there, and we don't know. We got Ty and
yeah.
Matt,
Oh
and
no, there's a ton of stuff that they
there's a ton of
didn't.
stuff. But if
Yeah.
it ended, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But I'd be,
That's what I mean.
yeah,
That's yeah.
I don't know.
That's what
I
I
I
mean.
just thought this was going to be the year they fixed it, and they did a decent job at getting it back a little bit. But that season one feel, it's just I don't think it can be come back.
No, there's no stakes. It doesn't really
Yeah,
matter. People die, and then you're seeing them alive in some weird afterlife, or is it real?
I don't
And the
know.
way they explain the supernatural versus there's bad gas that's leaking, and that's why they were getting all sick. And we had talked about stuff like that,
Yeah.
but then, they want to straddle it. I'm in, I was talking in some Facebook group. Oh, it's the Backdoor Friends, our friend Little Miss Recap. And someone was saying they're getting more of they, like, wish there was more of like a Stephen King vibe to this show, like in the first season.
Uh-huh.
I was saying, and then they made some kind of disparaging comment about, because Stephen King, I mean, some of his later books are a little bit like they go off. And I was
Right.
like, I think the difference is that, yeah, Stephen King overcommits to things like dreams and fantasies and, like another personality talking to you. Whereas this show has a fear of committing. Okay, it's about the supernatural. Let's go.
Right.
Right? Or
Right.
it's just a fear of committing. So that's too bad. But you got to get
Yeah.
going solo. You need
Yeah,
to.
I do. Sorry, things are
Okay.
coming up that I gotta attend to.
All right, buddy.
It's Monday.
No,
But
It's Tuesday.
it's Tuesday.
Because I thought when you said it's Monday, I was like, it is Monday. And I was like, wait,
I
no, it's
thought
Tuesday.
yesterday was Tuesday and today is Monday. Oh my
I've been there,
Lord.
buddy. Listen, you go take care of what you need to take care of. Anytime I could even get 40, 45 minutes of chatty with my man Solo, I'm happy.
Has it
This was
only
a
been
lot of
45
fun.
minutes?
I don't know. That's the last time I looked at the clock.
No, it's like
Oh
over an
no, it's been
hour.
an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, hello,
Okay,
there's a half hour. Did I lose a half hour that I don't know about?
I think that's just my mind. That's the last time I looked. So
Where
that
is
shows you
my
how much fun
mind?
I've been
Where
having.
is my
It's
mind?
with Solo. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. dvrpodcast.com. Check us out. Become a patron. Help us out. Help us get new equipment. Do all that kind of stuff. Make this a real gig for us all. We appreciate that. Patreon.com/DVR. And I'm going to do that Apple subscription thing soon. You'll be seeing that pop up under all of our podcasts. So thanks for listening. We'll be back soon with what? We don't know.
We don't know,
We don't
but we
know.
have, but we do know,
We do know. But whoa, I will say
but we
this.
don't know.
I was on Delvin Cox Experience last week. It's yet to be released, but when it is released, I'll tell everybody about it and I'll put it on our Patreon and our daily DVR feed too. All right,
Cool.
Solo. Have a great day, buddy.
Later, General Folo.
Oh, wait, I got to do the double stop thing. I forgot about that.
Double
Here we go.
stop, like you're like an Oreo double.